At this video, I'm going to introduce the various way of graphing linear equation. Okay. Now, there are three ways of graphing linear equation in general. One is we call table method. Second one is we call intercept method or XY intercept method. Third one is slope and intercept method after you solve for Y. Okay. So among all those three, I found that the best one is number 3 for our course, and number 2 is also a good way of doing it. Number 1, table method is normal way, but it's sort of random. So table method, we are going to graph 2x plus y equals 6. Then what we're going to do is we're going to make a table for x, y coordinate. So you have to randomly guess a good number for x. A lot of time 0 and 1 or 2 or -1 or -2. A lot of times we use these 5 numbers randomly for x value, and then find that corresponding y value by plugging this into x in the equation. So if x is 0, then this whole thing, if you place x as 0, then whole equation becomes 2 times 0 plus y equals 6. 2 times 0 is 0. So 0 plus y equals 6. When you add the 0, it doesn't affect anything to equation, so it becomes y equals 6. So when you plug x as 0, y becomes 6. That's how you get the first number. The second number, you plug 1 as x. Then 2 plus y equals 6. You solve for the y. That means you have to move y 2 into the other side by doing opposite operation. Y becomes 4. So when you replace just random number x, y becomes 4. Okay. Again, if you put random number, x as a 2, then 2 times 2 plus y equals 6 into this equation. 4 plus y equals 6. And -4, y becomes 2. So that's where this numbers came from, coordinates. And then you plot this. So you plot x is 0, y equal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the first point. And 1, 4. So x goes 1, y goes 1, 2, 3, 4 here. That's the second point. And third, x equal 2, when x equal 1, 2 here, y is 2. So this is third point. So this is 2, 2, and this is 1, 4, and this was 0, 6. And then you connect this 3 points with a straight line, nice and easy. So that becomes your graph. So table method consists with just picking up or guessing a good x value and plug that x value into the equation they gave you to graph. And so you can find the y value. So you solve for y and get a y value and plot them. So, but the key for this table method is finding a good x value is the key. Okay. So now you can try exercise 1 and try those numbers again, like 0, 1, 2, or possibly -1. So pause your video and try to graph this. Okay, pause your video. Now here comes another example, y equal 2x. Again, the way you do is you try good number like 0, 1, and -1, and find the corresponding y values after you plugging into the formula like you did here, and then plot them. Okay, and then you get this picture. This one doesn't require any formulas, any rules, but choosing the good starting number, good x value is the key for this. So if you want, you can try exercise 2 and graph this. Okay. And also more example for example 3. So they are all like an example 4. So they are all like a very simple method of graphing for the purpose of graphing the equations. Now in here, example 4 give you something interesting. They want to graph y equal to. So how do you graph this? By using the table method. But you're going to try y equal 2 means y is always 2, no matter what x it is. So when x equals 0, you have no place to put in the equation because no x value there. So y equal 2. When x equal 1, well, y equal 2. When x equal 2, y equal 2. So y equal 2 means no matter what value of x you try, y always end up with a 2. That's what they're saying. So if I plot this, where is 0, 2? 0, 2 is x is 0, y is 2. Here is 0, 2. Here. And where is 1, 2? 1, 2 is when x equal 1, y is 2. So 1, 2. And where is 2, 2? X equal 2, and y is also 2. So this is 2, 2. So you have 3 points, and you connect nice and easy with a straight line, then you get this. So again, y equal 2 means no matter what x value is, y is always end up with a 2. So it become a straight line, actually the horizontal line. See? Horizontal line. So how do you graph y equal -3? Then knowing that, you start from 0, 3, so 2, 3, so -3 here. -2, -1, -3 is here. So you can guess that a graph will look like this. It's just horizontal line that pass through -3, because they say no matter what x value is, y is always -3. Okay? So this leads into next topic called rule of verticals. Actually, rules of a vertical and horizontal line. So when you have a graph y equals some number, then it become a horizontal line. It pass through 0, comma B. So if B is here, line look like horizontal line. So this is y equal B. And then this point is 0, comma B. Now, contrary to that, when you have an x equal number, x equal 8, that means it's a vertical line. And by the way, this is y and this is x, and this is x and this is y axis. And let's say this point is A, and then it becomes vertical line. So this is x equal 8. So you have to kind of memorize when you have a y equal B format, it's a horizontal line. When you have an x equal A format, that means it's a vertical line. Okay. So what does x equal A means? X equal A means no matter what y value is, x is always A. That's what this is. So let's look at the some x values. So here, graph a vertical line x equal 3. X equal 3 means like this table, when y equal 1, x equal 3. When y equal 2, x equal 3. When y equal 3, x is 3. So x is always 3. So how do you, okay, let's plot this. 3, comma 1 is here. 3, comma 2 is here. 3, comma 3 is here. And then connect this straight line, nice and easy. Then you get vertical line. Because there is no y value. Actually, x equal 3 means no matter what y value, x is always 3. Okay? So how do you graph x is 8? You can graph x is 8 as x line, x-axis is 8. That's what they're saying. So this is x is 8, because you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this line is x is 8. X is 3 means this. So x equal 3. X is negative 8 means at negative 8, vertical line. X is negative 3 means, so this is x equal 8 and negative 8. And the other one is x equals negative 3. And this is x equal negative 3. Now, contrary to that, how about y equals some number? So y equal 4 means in here, y is 1, 2, 3, 4. We're always horizontal line. So this is y equal 4. How about y equal negative 4? So it met at the 0, comma negative 4. So that's y equal negative 4. So that's how you draw vertical and horizontal line. And you have to memorize it, and you have to not confuse between what does x equal 2 line look like compared to y equal 2 line look like. Okay. Now, in example 5, okay, these are good questions for the test. What is the equation of vertical and horizontal line passing through 2, comma 3? So here is 2, comma 3. So start from origin, you move 2, and then you go up 3. So here is a 2, 3. So if I draw the picture a little bigger, 2, 3 is starting from 0, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. So that's 2, 3. Then what is the equation of a vertical line that passes through this and horizontal line that passes through this? So vertical means up and down. So vertical line would be this line. Okay. Vertical line means x value. So the equation for this vertical line is x equal 2. Okay. Why is not x equal 3? Well, look at this coordinate. And this is the x location. And this is y location. And since vertical line is passing through this x location, so x equal 2. Then how about horizontal line look like? Horizontal line look like this, that is passed through this point, 2, 3. Then what is the equation for this horizontal line? Since this horizontal line only have a same y value, which is as a 3, so y equal 3 is a horizontal equation for the horizontal line. Okay. Then number 2, what is the equation of the vertical and horizontal line that passing through -2 and -3? Again, where is the -2 and -3 points? So coordinate for -2, -3 is starting from 0, because this is the origin 0, 0. -2 means move 2 to the left side, so -2. And -3 from that point is going down 3. So here is a coordinate for -2, -3. And then vertical line means up and down. So vertical line is this that passes through this point. That is x equal, what's the coordinate for this point and x? Here, -2. So x equal -2 become this vertical line coordinate. How about horizontal line? Horizontal means like a sea level, horizontal like sea. So here is a straight line for horizontal line. But how do you write this equation? You write as y equals, so what is coordinate for that it passed through this point for y value? -3, right? So y equal -3 is the equation, horizontal line passing through this 2, -2, 3. So does everybody understand this? Okay. So now try the pause the video and try this exercise, and then check your answer with the solution key. Okay, so try this exercise 5.1. Pause your video now. Now, intercept method is contrary to table method that you have to find all the point. They are looking for only 2 points. Intercept method is try to looking for x-intercept by replacing y as 0 and solve for x. So you get this coordinate point, and find the y-intercept by plugging x equals 0. So to find that intercept, you have to make it 0 for the other the variable. So x-intercept is always x value, 0. Y-intercept point is always 0, y. See, to find the x-intercept, you have to have a number for x. So that's why you have a number. x-intercept. And to find the y-intercept, you have to have a number at the y position. And 0 on the x. So y-intercept, 0 on x. X-intercept, 0 on y. And then you plot these 2 points and connect them. So that's the intercept method. So let's graph 3x plus 2y equals 6. So from 3x plus 2y equals 6, to find the intercept, guess which one you plug it as 0. Okay, to find x-intercept, which means plug y as 0. So that becomes 3x plus 2 times 0 equals 6. So if you solve them, 2 times 0 is always 0. 3x equals 6. X become 2. So what does that mean? That means if x-intercept become 2 comma 0, because you are substituting the y as a 0. Now you have to find the x-intercept, y-intercept by plugging what? Plugging x as a 0. So this, you have to memorize it. Otherwise, you always get confused. Okay. So now, from original equation, you substitute x is 0. So 3 times 0 plus 2y equals 6. So, and then you solve this for y, because x equals 0. So 3 times 0 is always 0. And 0, you don't have to write it. So 2y equals 6. So y become 3. So what does that mean? Well, we studied as x is 0 and y is 3. So that point is 0, 3. And previous one was 2, 0. So what you do is you find these 2 points. First, x-intercept, which means the line intercept on x-axis. That's what x-intercept means. So 2, 0. So 1, 2, and 0. So that's 2, 0. And then where is, look at that. So it passed through the x-axis. That's why x-intercept. And how about where it passed through the y? Y-intercept is 0, 3, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3. So this point is 0, 3, which is y-intercept. So when you connect these 2 points with a straight line, nice and easy. So that's the graph. So this point we call the line intercept with the y, so we call y-intercept. And this point is the line that passes through the x, so we call x-intercept. So this is another very simple way, because in table you have to guess x or y for like 3 or 4 points. But intercept method, you only use 2 points. The 1 point that intercept x axis here, and another point that it passed through the y axis called y-intercept. And then you connect that. Okay? So now try exercise 6. So pause the video and see if you can graph this by using intercept method. Okay, pause the video, do that, and check your answer with the solution key. Now, example 7 is another graphing another equation by using a intercept method. Okay. Again, you need to make this table. To find the x-intercept, you plug y as 0, and then find that x-intercept point. And to find the y-intercept point, you plug x as 0 and find the y location. So here is finding an x-intercept. So to find the x-intercept, let y equal 0 and plug into y is 0. You got 2x equal 12, x equals 6. So since x equals 6, coordinate become 6, 0, because 6 is the x location, and y we put as a 0. So that's one point, which is here. Next one is to find the y-intercept, which means where the line passes through the y-axis. You replace x as 0 on this equation. Okay, so that means here is a mistake, but 2 times 0 minus 4y equal 12, then negative 4y equal 12, y become negative 3. So y-intercept point become 0 as x and y as negative 3, so 0, negative 3. So if you plot 0, negative 3, here is the point. And then you connect nice and easy for that. Okay, so that was another example. Now practice more with exercise 7. Pause the video, graph this, and check your answer with the solution key at the bottom. Okay, pause the video now. Now, third method is the slope and intercept method after you solve for the y. So slope and intercept method is most complicated, but yet is very useful. Okay, so slope and intercept method always use only when you have y equal mx plus b format. Okay, so if it's not in y equal mx plus b format, you have to solve for y to make them. Once you have y equals mx plus b, the good part for that is always the number in front of x become a slope, we call. So we can find the slope very easily once you have this format. And always regular number after x, that become y-intercept. So this is where you start, this is where you line intercept with the y-axis. And the coordinate, since it's a y coordinate, it becomes 0, b. So for example, if you have a y equals, let's say, negative 3 over 2x plus 3. If you have an equation like this, guess which one is y-intercept? Here, this is y-intercept. Guess which one is slope? Here. So slope become negative 3 over 2 That's the slope. And 3, which is 0, 3, become your y-intercept. Okay. So on the test and on the exercise, like this kind of question, they could ask just not only to graph them, but also what is the value of slope. Then value of slope, once you have this slope-intercept form, which means y equal mx plus b format, slope is very easy to find it. That's the number only. Number in front of x is the slope, and number after x is y-intercept. So that's why, even though this is harder, we try to solve for y to make a slope-intercept format. So when you have a y equal mx plus b, or for example, y equal negative 3 over 2x plus 3, we call this as slope and intercept form. Or format. Slope and intercept format. So now look at the example. Graph 3x plus 2y equals 6. Now when you have this called standard format, and when x and y are in a one side of equal sign and number is in the other side, we call this is standard form. Now we cannot graph with standard format. So what you do is you solve for y. Always solve for y to get slope-intercept method. So if you solve for y, you have the x has to be the other side, so minus 3x in both sides. Then you end up with 2y equal negative 3 plus 6. And then you divide all the term by 2 to get y equal negative 3 over 2x plus 3. So, and then once you have this equation, which is slope and intercept format, like y equal mx plus 3 format, you always start with y-intercept. What was the y-intercept? 0, 3, right? 3. 0, 3. So you start from 0, 3, which is 1, 2, 3 here. You start from here, which is 0, 3, and then you run and rise. Okay, so when you have a slope, the one on the bottom we call run, which is x value. So you run from here to position as x value. So you run to, and then numerator is rise. But in this particular case, you have a negative value, so you go down instead of going up. So you go down 3.123. So rise negative 3. So you land in here. And then you just connect this 2 point nice and easy. So that's how you do it. So what do? you solve for y first, so you can have slope-intercept format, and then you start from y location, y-intercept, and then you do run and rise. Run is, once you have a slope, run is always the denominator value, and rise is always numerator value. So if you have another example before you do the exercise, you have graph 3x minus 4y equal 12. Now, first thing you do is, because this is a standard format rather than slope and intercept format, you solve for y to get slope and intercept form from regular standard format of the equation. So when you have 3x minus 4y equal 12, to solve for y, you move 3x to the other side by doing inverse operation. So if you do that, you end up with a negative 4y equals, always when there is x and the number, you always write a x first. So negative 3x plus 12. And then you are looking for a y, not negative 4y. So what do? Well, you rewrite one more time, not to confuse with the question. And then you divide both sides by negative 4, all the term, each term. So you can have you have a y alone on the left side of equal sign. So when you do that, it will look like this. So these two cancel out, you end up with y equals negative 3 over negative 4, which means 3 over 4, because two negative cancel each other in front of x. And then y-intercept become 12 divided by negative 4, which end up with a negative 3. Okay. So now you know, now you have y equal mx plus b format. So 3 over 4 becomes slope. And y-intercept become 0, comma, negative 3. It's always 0, comma, and 3 is a negative location. Okay. So now how do you graph this? You start from y-intercept 0, comma, negative 3. So here it is, 0, comma, negative 3. Okay. And then you run 4 times, because always the bottom one is run. And you rise 3 times. So you run 1, 2, 3, 4, and rise 1, 2, 3. And then here is the ending point, and here is the beginning point. And then you connect nice and easy. Okay. So now you do pause the video to exercise 8, as well as exercise 9, and check your answer with the answer key in the bottom. Okay. So pause the video, and then do exercise 8, and do exercise 9, and check your answer with the answer key. And this is the end of this video.